Welcome back, consumers. Today we are diving face first into the dumpster fire of missed potential that is My Hero Academia.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
Now calm down, fandom. Drink some water. Take a breath. Because before I start throwing heavy rocks at this show, let's talk about a time when Izuku Midoriya was actually the coolest kid in class. Remember the sports festival? Specifically the obstacle course. Our boy Deku had absolutely zero control over one for all. If he used it, he exploded. So what did he do? He grabbed a piece of scrap metal. He mined up a field of explosives. He didn't use a god-tier superpower, he used his giant smart brain. He literally jumped onto a pile of explosives with a piece of scrap metal and launched himself into first place like some madman. It was peak. And then the Todoroki fight, well, it was a bit messy. Like, how many times did Deku break his fingers? But overall, it was good. It gave Shoto character development. Shattered each finger one by one to tell a traumatized rich kid that his fire belongs to him. It was a little weird how Deku just got Eds to blow up all his fingers multiple times. He didn't have any consequences. But even though Deku wasn't winning, he was winning a friend and helping Todoroki. Through his hard times, he had pure, unadulterated, bone-snapping spite. He didn't care about himself, he just wanted to help Shoto. Now that's good writing. The Todoroki fight may not have had consequences, but let's talk about why it should. Back then, quirks were simple. They were treated exactly like muscles. If you used them too much, you got tired. If you trained them, they grew. They were a literal extension of the human body. Remember when Bakugo said that quirks were extensions of the body? Bakugo sweated. Nitro could kill him if he used it wrong. Ida had engines in his calves. He could probably kill himself too. It made sense. It was grounded. And then Horikoshi looked at this beautiful functional system and said, yeah, but what if we just didn't do any of that? Development? Never heard of her. Let's talk about character development, or rather the total lack of it for anyone not named Todoroki. Todoroki was the only one who learned anything, but we'll talk about that later. Class 1A has 20 students. 20! Do you know what Sugar Rush Guy does? Neither do I. He eats cakes and gets punchy for 5 minutes, then goes to sleep. Riveting storytelling. What about Animal Voice Boy? He talked to a pigeon once. Outstanding. Tellman. His personality is, well, Tellman. That's all. Invisible Girl, she's just invisible. She's there to do nothing, along with all the other Class 1A students you don't remember. And don't forget about Class 2B, who didn't get developed at all, even though Class 1A already didn't get any development. And if you don't already think Class 1A and 2B are enough and they don't get developed at all, don't forget there are many other whole schools who, guess what? Don't even get any character development. You don't care about them or get any screen time with them. They're just there, just because Horikoshi wanted more characters. The show sets up this massive roster of heroes, only to turn them into glorified cheerleaders. Why introduce characters if you're not going to use them? Even the main heroine, Uraraka, her entire personality for 300 chapters is just staring at Deku with giant round blushing eyes while screaming, Deku! Internally, and then instead of trying to use her, they throw her away, like all the other characters in this show. And don't get me started on Bakugo. His character arc doesn't move at all. He spent 6 seasons being a toxic, explosive bully whose only vocabulary word is die. By the time he finally delivers a proper apology, there's no time for it to happen. Thanks, Katsuki. Super timely. I don't know why he didn't get development, and then randomly it was nice. Bakugo screams die for almost 6 seasons straight, and then randomly decides to be nice. And in my memory, Bakugo never actually apologizes to Deku. He just randomly starts sacrificing himself for Deku, and it's like, you never even apologized. The The villains aren't much better. Shigaraki starts as a whiny gamer who disintegrates things because his dad didn't hug him. By the end, he's still a whiny gamer, just with white hair and a cape.
A few moments later.
So, after what we've talked about, I'm all like, welcome to My Hero Academia, the only anime where the entire cast of characters stays exactly the same for 7 seasons.
I don't know.
Except for one frosty boy.
Not him. That's better. No offense, Kristoff.
Look at Midoriya, season 1, crying, current season, still crying, just with cooler gloves. Bakugo, season 1, angry, current season, still angry, just with louder explosions. Bashoto, my man started the show as a walking block of emotional ice. He hated his dad, he hated his fire, he hated fun, he was the king of daddy issues. Then, boom, character development hits him like a truck. He learns to use his left side, he visits his mom, he even learns how to joke. He literally downloaded a whole personality while everyone else was busy practicing their ultimate moves. Deku mastered One For All, Bakugo mastered Sweat, Bashoto achieved the rarest quirk in the entire universe, emotional maturity. He went from an edgy fanfiction protagonist to the only functional human being in Japan.
Still not you.
Subscribe if Shoto carried the entire plot on his back. Next up, world building, or as I like to call it, Japan is the only country that exists. We are told that 80% of the global population has superpowers. Think about the geopolitical nightmare of that statement. How do borders work? How does the economy survive when a guy can turn into a washing machine? Does the UN have a no laser eyes policy? The show ignores the entire planet until the final arc, where they suddenly introduce America's #1 hero, Star and Stripe. She arrives on a flying stealth bomber, has a quirk that literally rewrites the laws of reality, and then gets immediately deleted from the plot in 3 episodes. She was a narrative speed bump. And let's talk about Hero Society. The entire system crumbles because one old man named All Might goes into retirement. Imagine if the US government collapsed because Tom Brady stopped playing football. That is the structural integrity of the My Hero Academia universe. The police are entirely useless. They are basically security guards who escort the kids to the actual war zone. Ah yes, a giant city destroying threat. Send in the 16-year-olds. Finally, we must discuss the absolute clown show that is the power scaling. Remember when I said quirks used to be simple bodily extensions? Well, throw that out there. Because Deku suddenly discovered he didn't just have one superpower, he had 6. He got spider sense, he got flight, he got purple smoke. He became a walking Swiss Army knife of plot armor. The fights stopped being about tactics, heart, or clever quirk usage. They became a contest of who could shout their attack name while vomiting giant lasers and CGI energy tendrils across the screen. Shigaraki becomes completely immune to damage just because.
I don't know.
He grows a billion fleshy finger things out of his body. Why? Biomass expansion says the story. Sure, Horikoshi, sure. We went from I must carefully calculate the angle of my ice wall to avoid frostbite to I am going to punch this man so hard it changes the weather patterns in North America. When everyone is God, nobody is cool. The stakes became so high that they lost all meaning. Go beyond? No, please stop. My Hero Academia started as a beautiful story about an underdog who used his wits to survive in a world of giants. It ended as a generic, bloated mess where the main character flies around like Superman while his classmates stand in the background doing commentary.
Go, Deku, I know you can do it.
Deku, I know you can do it. Deku, I know you can do it.
But hey, at least the animation looked pretty when the budget kicked in, right? Let me know in the comments below exactly which Class 1A background character you would have erased from existence to save the pacing of the show.
And where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the pit.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this from me, you'll have to subscribe now, or you may never see me again. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. If you want to see different content, just let me know in the comments.
Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more cynical rants, and remember, Plus Ultra is great, but sometimes less is more. See ya.
Still not you.